Hi, I'm host Eric. I'm here with host Abraham, and we have got a special guest, and his name, I believe, is Justin. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So I am here tonight with famous person Justin, and I know nothing about him. I do know that he knows Abraham somehow, but that's about it. So obviously, you mentioned fraternity brothers. I also know that you're a college student. Can you tell
Yes.
me what year in college you're in?
I'm currently a second year.
Okay. And have you found your first year? Have you enjoyed it?
First year was rather rough, but very developmental. I understood a lot of understandings of who I am and where to go towards with my life. And then following that year, my second year actually really helped. It really helped my second year become very fluid and effective year for me to go under.
Okay, so you took lessons from the first year and applied them to have a more successful second year. Um, did you feel as though the difficulties in your first year were social, academic, other?
Other. I think oftentimes when we talk about social problems or issues, it has to be other because when you're growing and developing, there's no set thing that boggles you down. For me, my first year was difficult in the sense that socially I was really active, academically I was active, community-wise I was really active, and that overwhelming ability to participate in everything at once caused me to become overstressed and allowed me. It transitioned into like a lot of work in the future, but it resulted to really good amount of stuff. And the difficulty was the amount of workload that I put on myself.
Um, do you think that you read other people well, their emotions?
Let me just briefly say that I felt the exact same way my first year in college.
Huh?
I was so like desperate to pounce on things and just like, get things done from the get-to-go.
Mm-hmm. And I do agree. It's very important to have those um, goals and drive. Another thing, yes, I think I can't really say out of other people's perspectives, but through my interactions with people, I've understood and grown and followed people through their experience and understanding them a lot better than my average friend.
Okay. Are you creative? In other words, do you do any sort of media or make any art type things?
I actually do. I dance and a glove, I guess, but I'm creative in the sense that I like sparking opportunity and changing things around me so that it adheres to my understanding.
You give really polished answers to things. Why is that?
You should, okay, after you answer that question, you should probably mention the care program thing that you started up. I think
Okay.
that's very interesting.
Oh,
Overall, the polishing thing that I have, it comes from years of practice. Abraham understands. I've been captain of my speech and debate team. I've done multiple facets of understanding
yeah,
the
that's what
individuals
I
that I
thought.
speak.
That's what I figured. Okay. I when your answers they scream speech kid. So, uh,
Yeah,
you went to I guess Arroyo then, and you participated.
I did. I went to San Gabriel.
You went to Gabrielino. Is that what you
San
said?
Gabriel, just San Gabriel,
Oh,
not.
just San Gabriel. Did they have
Mhm.
a smaller team there? They're on at Gab, right?
They used to have one of the biggest teams in the nation, and then what happened was during my years it was really difficult. I rebuilt the team up, and then the I rebuilt the team up to like almost 70 people, and then we won nationals in OI. I mean, state in OI, and all these different type of things. And then our coach got fired. So St. Gabriel's now a smaller team, but I believe that it's been through tough
Who was your
times. It's going to
coach?
make it out. Who was my coach? I don't know if you know Eric Miller. Eric Miller was my coach. And then this past year and the year before that was Andrew Neiman. He wasn't a good coach at all. He just was put into the position kind of thing. Well, he wanted the position, but he did a decent job at it when he was there. He didn't do an effective job when I was there, when he was leading.
Yeah, I know
So
Miller. I
prior to that, do you know Doug Campbell, Coach Campbell?
um the name sounds really familiar.
Campbell actually coached Abe's coach.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm really familiar with Miller. Eric Miller was the high school coach when I went to Rebay, and uh,
Oh.
and basically passed off the middle school team on to me. It's basically how I got started in debate. So
Oh, awesome! Yeah, Miller was my coach.
yeah,
The world's so small.
he was good. He's a good coach.
Second,
I tell you, he knows what he's doing. Especially with those speech events, he can knock them out the park. He's not as good a debate coach as me, but he's a much better speech coach.
well, he's a really good speech coach. I did Pufo and Parley at St. Gabriel, and we broke to octos at Berkeley because of him.
He's a good coach on everything. And don't get me
Nice.
wrong. You know, he's a strong coach. He was a debater in high school. He wasn't a speech person. But what I've seen him really work the magic, because look, the thing is, when he was at Rebay, I got him to help occasionally with a couple of the speech kids, because I'm not so strong coaching the speech stuff. I can be certain events, certain ways, certain times, but not so much other times. And I saw him bring in some skills that I was like, okay, those are skills I don't have. He's better at this than I am. But I didn't ever see that when I saw him coaching debate, you know. But that's just, you know, that's just my own personal bias. Anyway, the point is, he's cool. I like him. He helped me out a lot. You know, he helped me get started in the field. So that's cool that we have that shared history. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about. Forget Abraham directing you.
Okay.
What I want to know is what personality type you are. So I already think I know what personality type you are, but it's hard to read you now because you're speechy, so that means you're practiced.
Right.
Right.
That's actually, I think speech defines who I am. So, oftentimes in that sense, I think it's more effective. Effective.
Do you know anything about personality typing, like cognitive function, stuff like that?
Taking like the colors test and those kind of things?
Or like Myers-Briggs test, things like that. Have you ever taken
Yeah.
Myers-Briggs?
Yes.
Did you get ESFP?
Yes.
Boom. Great, thank you. Anything else you'd like to talk about in this interview?
I think I'm good. Wait, could you explain EFSP again? I took it like 3 years ago. I just want to make sure.
Well, ESFP is a type that it's gonna lead with extroverted sensing, then go to extroverted feeling after that. I mean, introverted feeling. Wait, hold on. I gotta look it up on the internet. I should have my paper up in front of me, then I wouldn't have to do this. All right, let me get my paper up. So, yeah, the issue with the personality types is it's really a matter of you have four what I would call reflexive cognitive functions. That is to say, cognitive functions that you use automatically, like as a reflex, without really thinking about it a whole bunch. And those are what are known as your conscious functions, but they're really, you can consciously use any of the functions, but you typically don't. And so, in this particular instance, the stack of your four cognitive functions, your first function is extroverted, and it's going to be probably extroverted sensing. Once I get my paper up, I'll be able to tell you more precisely. But then these things define basically how which priorities you have for interacting with things in the world. So what that means is if you are an extroverted feeler, as I suspect ESFJ is, then you are going to be prioritizing how other people feel in the world as something you care about a lot. And it's going to obviously result in you being successful socially because, you know, people who care about other people's feelings are successful socially. So for those reasons, I mean, the cognitive functions are able to tell us a lot about whether or not you're going to react to this way or this way in a certain situation. Let me pause for a second. Okay, I'm just trying to fucking kill time until this file opens. So what I'm going to do is pause here for a second. I pause the video. I need to pause the audio too. That's going to be a problem. So let me just stop the video here, and it's probably better. Oh, it's over here, the audio.
That's really awesome.